Where's? Welcome to the Damu Kiwe Conversations. Let's go.
My niggas ain't giving out passes. Flip bitches, then get rid of their asses. Melt the vault, my young niggas just passed. Cause we the talk to full throttle your asses.
Chief Rose OG said Louis the 13th. Against all odds, still I live. Fuck what you bursting. Stiff arm haters, stay positive, protected by heat. Kevlar vest, that sunscreen, niggas paying.
Can y'all hear that?
Malnutrition cause you chase the meat. Easy decision before starving, I'll be robbing a brain. Gang vicious, trust no bitch, bitches full of deceit. After riches, after sex, I kick him out in the street. The squad get it by all means, what's more attractive?
Bang that like button on your way in.
7 digits with my dream into the magistrate court. Copyrighted from the Spotify. Sorry, it's hard on here, got me on 10 toes. Call me Sub-Zero, making both wrists from. Chasing digits, haters live it while they talk it. I live it. 1.5 out of prison. My life motion picture.
My niggas ain't giving out passes.
Flip bitches and get rid of their asses. Melt the vault, my young niggas just passed.
Talk to full throttle your asses. Bodies love such aggressive passion.
What I suggest with your suggestive asses.
Shawty wanna ride with me.
Told her if she ride green, we could go full throttle. Welcome to the Damu Kiwe Conversations. We up in this funky joint, y'all. Bang that like button. Oh, I didn't even hit the like. Why I keep doing that? I be having a problem going live. Add a link to your live here for viewers to make a purchase and find out information. Now, after you go live, to save part of the recording. Yeah, this ain't even starting on IG, but that's okay. We gonna get it. We gonna get it on IG anyway, right? Because I'm not on what you call it right now. So let's see what they say. FamWest TV says this gonna be a good one. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be a good one, right? Then you got the chat is chatting right now, right? Reckless Podcast, salute, bro. 816, you know what I'm saying? Then you got Mikey B. Salute to Mikey B. Born nigga. We got a 3-finger Paru. Salute to the chat. Terrell Keith, why CS2 BACK lied on Niem and thought he wasn't gonna tell it is beyond me. Gvngland Niem said Wack then sent him shh. Says he doesn't F with Wack and doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, we gonna get right into that today. You know what I'm saying? That's the content. You dig? Hit the like button immediately. Bang that like button. Keith McCulley, what up? G-Mac, West. Damu Kiwe right back at it, the dopest content. Welcome and subscribe and bang that MF and like button. Tell them again, G-Mac. Keith McCulley up in here. Everybody, Lou from the Lou. Birmingham, Alabama, what's going on? He say, what's going on today? We got the content. That's what's going on. Time gone, what up? Salute, thanks for always support, man. Y'all don't understand how much I be appreciating it, but I do. Y'all hit that cash app. We gonna keep getting y'all this content. Bang that like button. That's where you start, though. You know what I'm saying? That's where you start. Bang that like. Kid the Barber up in this funky joint. Another long time supporter, man. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go to the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? The Patreon, I want to talk to y'all, not through the chat. I want to be able to really conversate. Dude, you see Wack calling to No Jumper, talking about young Ant and basically expose himself as working. Yeah, he gave the video to what you call him. Bolina, salute listeners as I work. Man, you ain't working. You just be treating me like a stepchild. That's okay, though. You know what I'm saying? Bolina. Jungle Boy TV, salute, bro. What it do? So, look, we got a long time today, so we not going to even wait. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get right into it because I don't want y'all to forget CS2 BACK be thinking, see, he got them slow ass niggas on the 100 EBT side, right? So I think he be thinking everybody's as dumb as them. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's gonna take 3 minutes to expose this clown. 3 minutes. And then we gonna dig deep into in the interest of justice. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we finna get into it. Let's get to this content. Let's go.
At it, nigga. They paid him.
That's
I was looking at it.
That's what's up.
Look, listen to that.
Your Clubhouse content where you need to subscribe to the
CS2
home and your
BACK.
Clubhouse TV. Let's get to the content.
That's a good one.
In the block.
Hey, Wack, let me ask you something too about the regarding the settlement that you received. Did you was that a 6-figure payout? It was. That's
on my
over
mama.
With. That's over with. You got that bread. World Star paid you out. That's it. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You got that bread.
On my mama. I think what's the nigga name? Is it Gvngland Niem?
Yeah, Gvngland Niem.
I sent it to Gvngland Niem. I went on it was him, Odie and Slim got the dog. Wack, you lied. I sent it to him. He said, hey, Slim, I'm looking at it, nigga. They paid him.
That's
I'm looking at it.
That's what's up.
I don't look, bro. Listen, I'm not a dummy. If I was
Yes, you are.
caught
No,
up
of
with
course not.
anything, I wouldn't be as loud as I am.
No, I
As loud as I am because I know I can be.
Mm-hmm. I feel you.
I'll be right over there in the corner chilling.
Now,
Like,
now, regarding this alleged video, when you said you waiting for it to get to a, what's the crescendo though? You talking about a platform like, not to put no names out there, but you talking about a major platform to catch on to it, and then you're gonna be like, boom, activate the lawyers.
Yeah. You know, my legal team been with me over 2 decades, right? I don't got retainer fees.
Kappa
and shit like
facts,
that.
salute.
That's what that is. So they watching, right? As soon as it hit, we going up.
Now, are you gonna start going after channels that when you was talking about how to react?
And I don't give about no channel, my nigga.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
channel, nigga.
nah,
I'm going
because you
for the
know what?
bag.
Because what's the name said you struck his channel and everything.
Cool.
Chinaman.
Homie, y'all gotta use your brain. He said no jumper struck his channel. Nigga, no jumper's channel ain't my channel. I can't strike for no jumper.
I agree. I'm just asking you what he put out there.
This nigga's gotta remember.
Because he put your
The
name in the
YouTube
title.
streets,
He put your name in the
the
title.
YouTube streets are dead. I ain't been feeding them. So they gotta use my name. How in the whack strike you from no jumper's channel?
You don't have a
I don't
you don't
control
have,
that channel.
you don't have a YouTube channel. Like
No, it's the Honey Show.
the Honey. So I mean, yeah.
Nigga, I'm not in place to file nothing from No Jumper's channel, and I don't even know when I mentioned he used niggas content. I'm like, bro, you used 27 minutes of hood stock. I didn't mention no Jumper content, nigga.
Hey, okay.
I don't even think. Listen, bro, he ain't even showed the strike. I think all that's cap.
Yeah,
He
might
ain't
have
even
might have
showed
been-
it.
might
Man,
have
your
been
name
going for views.
clickbait. Each clickbait.
Hey, bro, he put everything else up. He show everything else.
That's
Where's
true.
that?
That's true. That's
Where
true.
is it?
You show everything else.
Put everything else on the screen.
Where's your
Think you gonna
settlement
show
at?
it? Come on, bro.
But you gotta remember, Duse M is a known groupie, nigga, at this point, cause that nigga been stalking for 2-3
Move, Papa.
years, nigga.
Hey, that's
nigga,
the
all his
hey.
content like a stalker, nigga.
Careful what you say, Prophet. That's the voice of Big U.
Nigga, I don't give a if he was the ghost of Christmas spirit, nigga.
Hey, bro, first of all, bro,
Still
listen,
say he the voice of Big U.
that nigga blew his hood and his dead homies up. And Big Chuck Room talking about, nigga, that you didn't get paid. I didn't get what? He put that on his hood and his dead on blue shirt. I bet he won't do that now, though. Wherever he called, they told him.
So he said I blew up my hood because I said he didn't get paid. And I said if you got paid, it was some crumbs. You ain't got no 6 figures. So he said on his mama, boom, there go that fat, sloppy body, retarded, dope head ass bitch right there, right? So let's get into the content, right? So he said that the paperwork to Gvngland Niem. And Gvngland Niem seen the settlement agreement which was 6 figures, right? He said Gvngland Niem seen the settlement agreement and it was 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So let's get to Gvngland Niem real quick. See, it be so easy. See, this when you know you got a nigga pressured, right? They get to making mistakes. See, CS2 BACK do real good when you talking about he's on offense. But he don't do so good on defense. And since I've been full court press, I've got turnover after turnover after turnover. So, let me show y'all what's going on now. Bang that like button, man. This is how easy it is to expose these weirdos. Shout out Gvngland Niem. We up in here, though. Let's go.
Yeah, you're locked up. Like, that shit weird, bro. That shit's weird. And Rack 100 be lying. Let me tell y'all this, too, real quick. Somebody sent me a clip, right? Like, first off, all my subs, y'all already know the deal. Y'all already know the deal, bro. My good peoples know the deal, right? But somebody sent me a clip and was asking me, hey, bro, you be dealing with Rack 100? Never dealt with Rack 100 a day in my life. I had one conversation with Rack 100, and that was when he struck my channel 6 times for Christopher Fluffjoy, right? He was representing him at the time or whatever. He tried to strike my channel 6 times. They went on Clubhouse, spoke about it. Oh, yeah, he's breaking his computers. Yeah, his Christmas gonna be weak or whatever. Again, I don't know why niggas
Christmas
celebrating some shit like that. Like, say this was all I had.
Real hater shit up.
I couldn't provide for my family on Christmas. Like, what? That's cool for y'all, but whatever. That doesn't even make a difference. But I called him on the phone and asked him what his deal was. We had a very short conversation, him trying to like, and me telling me we can tell that you ain't from this and whoop the whoop and this that. Oh, I'm gonna show you a paru. Pardon me. And I told him, all right, nigga, do what you do. Boop. Banged it on him. That was it, right? But somebody sent me this clip. It's Rack 100. This is what I just want to show y'all about Rack 100. He just be lying, right? He says in this clip that he gave me some paperwork to prove some shit. I don't know what he's talking about, right? But he said Gvngland Niem. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, Gvngland Niem. He like, yeah, I gave the little nigga Gvngland Niem some paperwork, and he
said he gave Gvngland Niem a copy of his settlement agreement for 6 figures from MediaLab IA, a.k.a. the parent company of WorldStarHipHop.com. Let's see how deep this lie go.
Off right there, and ODM Slim said this, and he was like, no, it's true, and I'm just like, what? I laughed so hard when I heard that because I was just like, damn, niggas really just be doing it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas will really just say whatever. He's never given me any paperwork. He's never sent me nothing but strikes. And I spoke to him one time again, and that was after the strikes. But I'm saying I only mentioned this to just let y'all know, bro, don't be taking nothing nobody on this internet.
Don't take nothing these niggas on the internet say. Listen.
To prove some shit. I don't know.
Listen. This is nasty work. This nigga went and told a bold-faced lie. Them dumbass Clubhouse niggas, they ain't got enough sense to realize Gvngland Niem don't even fuck with Wack. And then they don't know him to go ask him.
Somebody sent me a clip, right? Like, first off, all my subs, y'all already know the deal. Y'all already know the deal, bro. My good peoples know the deal, right? But somebody sent me a clip and was asking me, hey, bro, you be dealing with Rack 100? Never dealt with Rack 100 a day in my life. I had one conversation with Rack 100, and that was when he struck my channel 6 times for Christopher Fluffjoy, right? He was representing him at the time or whatever. He tried to strike my channel 6 times. They went on Clubhouse, spoke about it. Oh, yeah, he's breaking his computers. Yeah, his Christmas gonna be weak or whatever. Again, I don't know why niggas was celebrating some shit like that. Like, say this was all I had, and I couldn't provide for my family on Christmas. Like, what,
We lie.
that's cool for y'all, but whatever. That doesn't even make a difference.
Active Chucks on
But
YouTube. Pull up.
I called him on the
We
phone
lie.
and asked him what his deal was. We had a very short conversation, him trying to like intimidate me, telling me we could tell that you ain't from this and whoop the whoop and this, that, and oh, I'm gonna show you a paru. Pardon me. And I told him, all right, nigga, do what you do. Boop. Banged it on him. That was it, right? But somebody sent me this clip. It's Rack 100. This is what I just want to show y'all about Rack 100. He just be lying, right?
He just be lying.
He says in this clip that he gave me some paperwork to prove some shit. I don't know what he's talking about, right? But he said Gvngland Niem. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, Gvngland Niem. He like, yeah, I gave the little nigga Gvngland Niem some paperwork, and he read it off right there, and ODM Slim said this, and he was like, no, it's true, and I'm just like, what? I laughed so hard when I heard that because I was just like, damn, niggas really just be doing it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas will really just say whatever. He's never given me any paperwork. He's never sent me nothing but strikes. And I spoke to him one time again, and that was after the strikes. But I'm saying I only mentioned this to just let y'all know, bro, don't be taking nothing nobody on this internet say seriously. Not even me. Y'all niggas don't know me. Don't even take nothing I say seriously. This
Niggas just be doing it up, lying. Niggas use his name as if he really gave him the settlement agreement, 6 figures from World Star Hip Hop, so that he could verify and vouch for a federal confidential source. A federal confidential source. Trying to get him to vouch and lie for him. So why would Wack 100 go through all of this just to lie, right? Just to lie. Why would he go through all of this, right? So let's get into the content. So what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another explosive episode of the Damu Kiwe Conversations. I'm Lamonte, Duse M's the Dime. Sims Sr., CEO of Active Chucks Entertainment. And tonight we got to talk about the contradictions. We got to talk about the lies. We got to talk about the narratives. We got to talk about manipulation. We got to talk about deception. And most importantly, we got to talk about why certain people continue telling stories that they can't prove. Because tonight, the internet narrative surrounding Wack 100 just took another major hit. And the reason why is because the man that Wack 100 allegedly claims saw his proof is now reportedly saying, I never saw any paperwork. Yeah. Tonight, we're discussing Gvngland Niem allegedly calling cap on Wack 100's repeated claims that he showed him a 6-figure settlement agreement involving MediaLab IA situation, aka WorldStarHipHop.com. And if that's true, then the entire narrative Wack 100 pushed for months begins collapsing under its own weight. Because think about this carefully. If you really got a 6-figure settlement, why keep talking about it instead of proving it? Why continuously scream online instead of simply showing documentation? Why create emotional narratives? Why attack people personally? And why do you continue to deflect? Why not just produce the proof? And that's the question tonight. Now, before we get started, this live stream is commentary, opinion, and analysis based on public statements, public allegations, internet broadcasts, court records, and public disclosure. Add to that public discourse. Everybody mentioned is presumed innocent unless proven otherwise in a court of law. Now let's get into it. The alleged lie. So let's start at the center of the controversy. For months, Wack 100 has allegedly repeated this claim that he received some massive settlement from MediaLab IA. Not only that, he allegedly claimed that he showed proof of this settlement to Gvngland Niem. Now, why is that important? Because when you tell people, I showed somebody the paperwork, you're trying to create credibility through a third-party witness. You're basically saying, don't just trust me, somebody else verify it. That's the strategy. But now, according to what's circulating, Gvngland Niem is allegedly saying, I never seen no paperwork. I barely even talked to dude. Now, if that's true, that creates a major credibility problem. Because now people start asking, was the entire story fabricated? See, this is why details matter. This is why consistency matters. And this is why receipts matter. Because in today's internet culture, people weaponize narratives, not facts, but narratives. And there's a difference. A narrative is emotional persuasion. Facts are provable. And tonight, we're asking, where's the proof? Now, some people might ask, Deuce, why does it matter whether it was 6 figures or not? Because the number matters in the context of the narrative. When somebody says 6 figures, they're implying victory. They're implying validation. They're implying the accusations against me were so false that I got paid massively, right? That's the implication. But if you can't prove it, then people begin wondering if the claim itself was part of a propaganda campaign. And that matters because the documentary itself centered around serious allegations and serious public discussion. So let's be clear. Settlements happen every day. Cases settle every day. But settling a case did not automatically mean someone was vindicated. A settlement can happen for many reasons. Cost of litigation, risk management, public relations, avoiding discovery, avoiding appeals, and avoiding publicity. There are corporations that settle cases even when they think they'll win. There are plaintiffs who settle because they are exhausted financially. So merely saying it's settled means nothing by itself. The real issue becomes, what were the terms? What amount? Who paid who? Was there confidentiality? And if there was a 6-figure payout, why not simply redact sensitive information and show the proof? And that's what people are asking. The CS2 BACK allegations. Now let's address the elephant in the room, right? The CS2 BACK allegations. These allegations became one of the biggest internet narratives surrounding Wack 100. And from the beginning, my position has remained consistent. I said the lawsuit itself appeared to become a smokescreen. I put up the documentary Wack 100 and the alleged snitch allegations, January 27, 2024. It was up 3 days. It did 3 million views on World Star Hip Hop and another 1 million views on World Star Hip Hop's YouTube channel. And that's when Wack 100 couldn't take it no more. He had his lawyers file a cease and desist, and subsequently, a defamation of character to MediaLab IA, which is WorldStar's parent company, right? And I told y'all that was a smoke screen. The man couldn't stand the truth. You can't handle the truth. So he tried to claim defamation and tell everybody, oh, he's giving me a bag. I'm suing and I'm not a snitch. Somebody say you a snitch. You don't sue. You get your paperwork, your statements made, audio, and you go to the set and bring it to the table. And that's what Wack 100 still has yet to do. You want to know why? Because Wack 100 is CS2 BACK. Now, Levi, wake your ass up. You down there snoring and shit. He be right up under me. That's my dog. That's my dog. So the lawsuit itself appeared to be a smoke screen, a smoke cloud, a mechanism to redirect public focus away from the actual allegations being discussed in the documentary. I can make a compelling argument with the documentary that 4 million people saw and believed instantly. Wack 100's already lost. But with the taking down the video and bringing any seed of doubt would be a win for him. If only for the dumb Clubhouse niggas he could spin. If only for DJ Wackademics and Adam 16 he could spin. But I beg to differ. I think they all know. A mechanism to redirect public focus away from the actual allegations being discussed in the documentary. Instead of disproving the allegations point by point, the conversation shifted towards he sued, he won, he got 6 figures. You notice the shift? That's strategic framing. Because psychologically, once people hear lawsuit and settlement, many automatically assume the accusations must have been false. But legally, that's not how reality works at all. Cases settle for complicated reasons. And if MediaLab IA truly appealed portions of the ruling, that's also significant. Because appeals happen when parties believe legal errors occurred. That means the situation clearly wasn't as simple as certain internet personalities tried to make it appear. And again, if the documentary was entirely nonsense, why did arguments reportedly center on whether statements were substantially true? Because that matters. Because substantial truth is a major doctrine in defamation law. World star hip hop, Daniel Cotton, and World Star said that he believed, and the lawyers for MediaLab said they believed that the documentary was substantially true. Wack 100 and the snitch allegations. A multi-million-dollar platform doing $60 million a year argued to the court that Wack 100 snitch allegations, documentary was substantially true. If the core essence of the statement is true, defamation becomes difficult to prove. So these nuances matter. But internet culture doesn't care about nuance. Internet culture cares about headlines. And Wack 100 understands that better than most people. Internet psychology and narrative warfare. See, one thing people got to understand, we are living in an era of digital psychological warfare. Not physical warfare, narrative warfare. Who controls the perception? And that's the game now, right? If somebody can repeat something enough times online, many people eventually start accepting it as fact, even without evidence. And that's dangerous. Look what's going on with Young and Hefe. Free the Western Gargoyle, man. Dude was trying to change his life, bro. Me and him had our little cyber war. Once he realized he was wrong and apologized, I accepted the olive and we moved forward. He wasn't looking, not because he was scared. He wasn't looking for no, he wasn't looking to go back to jail. He wasn't looking to start a war that he could dodge. And neither was I. But you see these dudes, clout chasing ass young nigga from Pablo's, CS2 BACK, giving fake information to Poetic Flacco, talking about the taco stand unaliving of the homie from Pablo's. Then they putting it out there that it was Baby Huey, Big U's son. That's why Young and Hefe was in jail. These niggas have no credibility. But it's about perception. Poetic Flacco had 100,000 people watch that lie. 100,000 people who have no connections to St. Andrews Park, no connection to Young and Hefe's family, friends, or nobody. And they just ran with it. These other channels running the narrative that it was the little homie from Pablo's that got killed. And then they listening to Poetic Jolly, the freaky frog, and he don't even know how to say Pablo. He talking about Pablo. And they're listening to this nigga. You niggas don't see what the fuck is going on? Even without evidence. And that's dangerous. Because now public opinion becomes detached from proof. Somebody says, I got 6 figures. Everybody repeats it. Blogs repeat it. Clubhouse repeats it. YouTube repeats it. And before you know it, the statement becomes internet mythology. But mythology is not evidence. And tonight, mythology is colliding with contradiction. Because now the alleged witness is reportedly saying, I never saw paperwork, and that changes everything. Now let's ask a deeper question. Why would Wack 100 lie online? Simple. For influence, for control, for fear, for ego, for image preservation. Some people build entire careers around perceived dominance. They can never appear weak. They can never appear vulnerable. So what happens? They exaggerate victories. They manufacture narratives. They attack their critics. And they create distractions. Because perception becomes survival. And in hip-hop culture, image is currency. I hope you start valuing yourself. If people stop believing you're powerful, your influence starts collapsing. That's why certain people constantly remind everybody who they allegedly know, what they allegedly did, who they allegedly beat, what money they allegedly got. It's branding, right? But eventually, branding collides with reality. And when reality appears, the contradictions surface. We finna get into this documentary real quick. We on YouTube. Salute to everybody that's already on Instagram. I was trying to connect y'all straight to the thing. We got 115 people on YouTube, man. Y'all bang that like button, man. Let's get us in the algorithm while we put this documentary up real quick, man. Nasty work. Nasty work. He just lying. But why would he lie? Right? Y'all think about that. Why CS2 BACK even lie? You want to know why he lied? Let's go ahead and get into this first. We got to do it. Y'all know how much he hates that this documentary is still on my channel? He threatened to take my channel. Y'all want to know how much he hates that, bro? Bro, they sent the copyright strike to YouTube, striking my YouTube, claiming that the documentary, he claimed that the documentary was his. Imagine that. I could show y'all something right now. Hold on. One second. Those on IG. Let me grab this real quick. Let me show y'all something real quick. See, when you know the game, right? And I've been doing this before Wack 100. When you know the game, right? Let me show y'all something, right? This is what's called a certificate of registration. When you register your stuff with the Copyright Office, they know where M's in picture. I own the entire motion picture. But Wack 100 claimed my work. Writing phase time, right? You're saying you could go to jail for claiming ownership of somebody's intellectual property. So we finna get into this content real quick, but that's how bad he wants this documentary down. And it would be an injustice to not make sure we go over the documentary again and the exact reason why all of this litigation 100 feels the need to lie about having a 6-figure settlement with WorldStarHipHop.com. Hey, CS2 BACK. Good luck. Let's get to this. Bang that like button. Hold on. Let's get to it.
First of all, I was trying to strike. Yeah. That's it.
Caught up in the middle on that.
Well, first of all, there were than Cash Jones.
Wack 100, most famously known for arguing on Clubhouse, has been exposed as confidential informant in paperwork recently released by defended
Hold on, let me stop this. Y'all can see it. I'm thinking y'all watching it. They just be, bro, they really think, okay, there it go right there. Southern Forest, what up, bro?
Salute, bro. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, that's, hey, I don't know what's going on. Let's go, though. Started back over. How about that?
Dude that spoke on Shaq, he's completely right, because I was caught up in the middle of all that.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
Wack 100, most famously known for arguing on Clubhouse, has been exposed as an confidential informant in paperwork recently released by defended Money Mark and Stutter Box. Before we play the recording of Money Mark, who was the main defendant in this case, confirming Wack is back, let's take a look back to when Wack himself spoke on this case and admitted to meeting with the feds and also saying they owe him a favor.
Once they hit my motherfucking home office, that's when they called the search off. Because in the home office, he then discovered the house and the cars and everything they thought was up under my name, that had that living beyond the means excuse to come in there, was all up under different corporations.
Wack is claiming that FBI did not know his house was not in his name before entering his home, and once they found his paperwork in his home office, they called off the search. How does the FBI not have this information prior to search warrant?
My attorney, we go down to the federal building on Wilshire Boulevard, right up to 405. We go up top. Now, I get up top, I'm tripping, niggas. So when I tell the motherfuckers, hey, look, y'all raided my house, Y'all had motherfuckers cuffed up in my house. Y'all did all this shit, you know, and y'all know damn well I was clean. Y'all embarrassed me. This, that. We filed the suit. When we get outside with my attorney, 2 officers that's depicted in there came to the front of me and my attorney said, hey, look, man, let this shit go. This shit gonna fuck, you know, this ain't gonna look good on us. We didn't know you. That boy put us on you, right? But we'll owe you one.
Wack is explaining going down to the
But
federal
we'll
building
owe you
tripping and
one.
basically the detectives telling him on the spot that Stutterbox told us on you. This seems a little
Bang
odd
that
that
like
detectives
button.
would give up someone who is supposedly working for them name, and also beg to drop the lawsuit and let us owe you a favor. Wack has told this story on several occasions, changing it up a little each time.
When I got up to the top floor, when we went to go get my personal belongings, me and my attorney, when I saw the 2 women with that FBI flak jackets come out, that Stutterbox would always invite to dinner when we was eating at Stevie's on the strip, that's when I knew what time it was. When we come off the elevator, I see a bunch of people in FBI flak jackets. Guess who one of the persons I see? The
FBI
fucking
flak
female
jacket
from New Orleans that asked about the 5 keys.
Sounds like a scene from Power. Was it 1 or was it 2 woman? Now Wack 100 decides to use his favor the detective promised him and calls it in. Listen to how easy it is for Wack 100 to get the information. These is words coming from Wack, and like he always says, the truth could never be considered disrespect.
I'm sitting back, I call my attorney. I said, hey, yo, call that officer, I need to have a word with him. Yo, didn't you say that Stutterbox is a cooperant for you? Yeah, documented on paper. Yeah, documented, he's a CI. Been that for 6-7 years. You got the paper and all, whatever y'all use. Yeah, we got that. Okay, yo, contact this dude. Have them call Stutterbox to the stand. Yeah, I called it in that day, and I did sue, but I used the card, and that was it.
Stutterbox alleges that Wack 100 was caught on a wiretap with Dale Dog conspiring to commit murder. This is why his house was raided and led him to working with the police as back. Stutterbox explains to Duse M that Wack gave up his address.
His house got raided because he was on the wiretap with Dog, you know.
What is Mark saying I had to do with the case, bro?
Wack, listen, in the paperwork, it said you tried to call Dog, remember?
I tried to
and he
call
won't take
Dog.
your call. And I sent it to you. And he
I
said
talked to Dog. I talked to Dog. That whole Main Street shit, that was your play. I had nothing to do with it. I was a victim. I was a victim.
There you have it. Wack admits Ace, talking to Dale Dog and also saying Money Mark was completely right.
Dude that spoke on Shaq, he's completely right, because I was caught up in the middle of all that.
Stutterbox said you in my paperwork on wiretap, right?
So Stutterbox confirmed that Wack was included in his paperwork
on the Main Street
on the Main Street case,
which he wasn't charged. But this guy is saying the only person that was arrested
was Cash Jones.
If Greg's credibility hurts the findings of the entire task force or not?
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
When you get the discovery, was part of that the actual wiretap?
The whole transcript. I got the whole transcript. Whole transcripts of the whole wiretap.
And do you, in that paperwork, do you see your conversation with Cash?
Hit that like button.
In the transcript.
That was the initiating. When they started recording.
Right. And Cash Jones.
In the paperwork they put him as BACK. BACK. And
right.
I kept asking
the Wack boy in a minute.
The lawyer, like, who the fuck is? I ain't talked to no Back.
Nasty.
And they
way.
said no, that's Wack. But they put him in Back because he a brother. So
wow.
Said, oh, okay.
Was this Back also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Well,
that's nasty work. We don't even need to play no more of that. You got.
Met him with the homie Stutterbox. That's how I first came to meet Wack, was through the homie Stutterbox, right? When I met him, dude was driving trucks, seemed to be cool. Box was like, yo, this was his neighbor across the street. He seemed to be cool. When Stutterbox defected, Wack picked up the phone and was basically being the interim, the middleman, because he was Stutterbox was defected, and I was like, okay, but my whole thing is, if he defected, why are you fucking with him?
Right. So he says that Stutterbox defected, and then you get some phone calls asking to speak to someone else, right?
Yeah, he called me. He called
How
me.
many
He called me, man. It was a series of calls, 4 or 5 calls. He wanted to reach out to the homie, rest in peace, Dell, though. And I don't give out nobody nav.
Right.
So I called the homie, Dell, dog. I'm like, yo, homie, you want to holler at this dude or what? Because you keep calling me. And he was like, nah, I'm good on that. I don't want to holler at dude.
So at some point, you get a
Oh, you don't want to do no hollering?
Wack 100 Cash Jones.
Hell no.
And when he contacted you, what did he contact you concerning?
He wanted to reach out to Dell Dog, rest in peace. And he wanted to give Dell Dog some information that he had gotten from Stutterbox, right? It's like he was getting information from Stutterbox on what his plan was and what the get down was gonna be. And he wanted to talk to the homie and talk to him. And Dog wasn't getting on the line with him. And he kept blowing me up because he wanted me to get him on the line.
Right. Smart man. Rest in peace to Dell Dog, man. So he's talking about the phones is being compromised. Is that one of the things that he told you?
Well, the homie Dell Dog never trusted dude. Follow me? Right. So Dog didn't know was the lines compromised or was they wired up for sound or not. He just wasn't going to chance it.
Now let's jump into 2 more situations Wack 100 himself discussed about his encounters with the FBI.
Feds just called my phone 2 hours ago.
The feds just called my phone.
I seen the shit, right? So first, I've been trying to get gang passport cleared. I said, maybe it's the, the passport people, right? So I said, I ain't gonna answer. Let me put the recorder on, then call back. Niggas straight feds. So they asked me, have I been threatened? I said, what? What are you talking about? They talking about the boy, right? So that let me know they on his line. They didn't heard something.
Information has been provided that you've had some disagreements with Mr. Prince. Are you familiar with him?
I know who he is, but I don't have no issues with Mr. Prince.
Okay. So,
a disagreement is a disagreement. I don't know how that factors in the FBI.
Well, I think Mr. Jones, all the YouTube videos going back and forth with him calling you a snitch and you calling him one and all of that would be where we received information that there was possibly a disagreement.
Yeah.
Wack hired a crisis actor to impersonate the FBI. He posted a screenshot of his call log and bureau was spelled wrong. Was this Wack way of alerting the authorities he has issues with J. Prince? Wack has threatened 9,000 people on the internet, threatened to put a bag on people's head, claim he supplied guns to gangs.
Them same niggas you talking about when they went to war, guess who they had to come see to get their tools, bro? Big you all up. Whack. Crip niggas gotta come see me.
Why would the FBI be calling a big-time gangster like Wack 100 to make sure he's okay? Unless there is a relationship between the two parties which could have started when the felon was caught in Texas with firearms. Wack has accused rapper T.I. of snitching for only serving 1 year for illegal firearms, claiming that there was no way he could have only got that little time without telling. Wack 100 alone with his brother was arrested in Texas for unlawful carrying of a firearm by a felon. There was never a court date, no discovery on file, just a brief in support of motion to suppress. The case was dropped in 2011 in the interest of justice. Wack needs to do what he asked everyone else to do. Produce the paperwork, not just the order to dismiss. Explain how a felon gets caught with guns crossing state lines. What happened to your co-defendant?
What happened to your co-defendant? Yeah, why you ain't produced that though? You know what I'm saying? You got everybody else work except yours. You know what I'm saying? So what we finna do now is we finna get into a real deep video. See, there's a lot of reasons why CS2 BACK is spreading lies on the internet as it relates to his settlement and receiving alleged 6 figures from World Star Hip Hop. And it doesn't matter if World Star wanted to if World Star Hip Hop wanted to pay him some money to make it go away, that's one thing. But he's lying, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's lying. Why are you lying? You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this real quick. I'm going to take y'all back. I'm going to take y'all all the way back.
When Wack asked for the number, he refused. He told the homie, nah. Nigga, this nigga been on the phone with him, nigga. That's how I met him through that nigga. So, nigga, if that nigga went bad, the only way you know that nigga went bad because, nigga, the nigga went bad on you. The only way you know the phones is tapped and compromised, nigga, is because you got knocked by the police. So how is you out? Why is you trying to talk to me? That nigga dealt off was a thinker, nigga. He out some boy, man. Crater face, use a snitch, pull up Newport, pull up Hot Girl.
I just did the request.
What up?
What up, Hot Girl?
What?
We got this bitch, nigga. Paperwork party on Clubhouse, nigga. Wack 100.
Let me read
nigga, come to Blood Alley, you bitch ass, rat ass nigga. You know,
Renegade Duchess, what up?
Nigga, you been, how will you, and I'm gonna break this shit down. A lot of y'all ain't been on here that long, right? When I first got on this shit, it was to stand against Wack 100. You know what I'm saying? He interviewed this rat nigga. So New York blood niggas, we need to study. These kids shouldn't be learning that it's cool to do business with and fuck with rats, right? I'm with that. Unification, all of that shit. So cloud chasing ass War Brim ended up wanting to do business with him, and Corey King also. They want to continue to do business with her. I'm like, listen, I'm not saying y'all chucks. I'm just with that dude. I don't like how he moved. I don't know niggas from where I come from that wanna hang with and chill and argue on a podcast face to face with a rat.
Most lead magnets are passive, but a scorecard marketing
conversation. Oh yeah, there's some good content. Y'all don't want to leave. Trust and believe. You different. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave you where you at. I don't want no problems with you though. I just did 10 years, hit that 8 like, years, bro. Nigga, 5 years, 6 months. I'm trying to stay out. Being gangster, I know where that's gonna get a nigga. You know what I'm saying? In jail or up in one of them shoe programs, right? That's where you end up, or the smooth program if you in the Fed. So I'm not trying to have no problems. I'm gonna keep it copacetic. That was my relationship with Wack 100. The bitch ass nigga ran the make on me in the 6 Duse brims. I'm originally from Fruittown brim. Nigga, I'm Lamonte on here. I didn't come on Duse M. I'm Lamonte. But he run the make on me. He run the make on me. A Duse M pass with flying colors and this and that. Like, I got a newfound respect after that. The nigga kept trying to fuck with me. Nigga, the fights, I got the pay-per-view shit. What I need him for? I'm trying to cut him out that play. So he make it seem as if nigga was trying to do business with him.
because y'all don't know that I'm really out here working, that I got all kind of other connections. But in any event, the nigga was in Great Street business. I'm like, bro, that's a keyway. Like, unless you want to start a war, and everybody I know in the hood is trying to get to where you at to have millions to change their family lives, right? Their loved ones around. But you seem like you more attracted to and magnetized to the drama, to getting shit started. So Stats 280 and what's Doodle from Grape Street confronted Wack 100 the same day I called him out for the fade. Like, bro, you got all of these niggas from different hoods. Like, we really in the trenches. Like, you go, right? Thank you. But yeah, we ain't in the trenches. Shout out to the trenches. I wasn't saying we really is in the community where a nigga could take it a certain way and start a gang war. Why would you try to provoke that? Right? Then you get into now I got paperwork on Duse M. Who would say that you got paperwork on the nigga that been in jail all his life that could have had all of LA locked up because I really was out there that heavy? You know what I'm saying? So niggas in them circles, you really know what's going on. But that's just not in my genetic makeup, nigga. So I don't fuck with them type of niggas. That don't mean I think we should knock them all down. I don't think we should do violence. I'm not advocating none of that shit. But I don't want to fuck with you. So I wanted to fade. From there, he went to, I got paperwork on Duse M. All the homo stuff, I don't give a fuck about that. I wouldn't even want it to fade. But to put that jacket on the nigga when I'll be in South Central tomorrow, nigga, I gotta walk them 30s, the 50s, the 40s, Gardena, Hawthorne. Nigga, I'm really a public figure. Nigga, I'm not no PC case, special need yard ass nigga. So when you did that, it wasn't no going back. I would have left your bitch ass to your trolling, because you're nothing but a troll. You're not respected in your hood. Nigga, you didn't even show up to the general funeral yesterday.
He didn't show up to Baby Sam's funeral. Rest in peace, Baby Sam. And he is just a troll because he has no intentions on rectifying or getting to it. You can't pop that, get to it. You bout that, like that, and all of that. And when it's time to get to it, you ain't never there. You don't show up, and you duck your face, running, and all of that. You's a buster. Hold on.
Gvngland Niem hitting me right now.
Right? Gvngland Niem hitting me right now. He said, Wack ain't show me shit, Deuce, dead homies. You know that nigga be lying. It's all content for gang. You don't know if he got me confused with another content creator or what, but he definitely not the fuck. This nigga this is nasty work. Stick around, we got the
But
content.
thank God you didn't, because we ain't trying to advocate for no other brothers going to jail, because you ain't gonna do nothing but tell anyway, nigga. Confidential source number 2, aka BACK, aka Wack 100. The paperwork's on the link up top. Y'all can check that out. Tell me what y'all think, though.
Salute to the room. What's up, everybody?
Real Damu love.
Salute, salute. Yeah, this real Damu love, man. We ain't trying to push hate. Even Kiwe's welcome in this motherfucker. We just keep it respect. You understand what I'm saying? So for when you get these nigga that's trying to provoke that type of shit, nigga, you ain't on the front line, so you already in violation. And why would you want to be in another hood's business? If it's a public topic, it's a public topic. But you get to spit niggas' names, their real names, and their sex, and like my nigga. But that ain't my nigga, and he ain't for our community. So for all the kids who think that it's cool to be 6'9" or Wack 100 and cooperate I equate them same type of niggas to Judas. Nigga, the William O'Neill, counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO. Nigga, that's what type of nigga you looking up to. Disgrace, nigga. We Fred Hamptons around here, Jeff Forrest, Larry Hoovers. Yeah. Tookie Williams. Big Angel, Tony Lucius. Real legends, man, that really walked and lived that life without compromising their integrity. How you gonna tell your son to grow up to his full potential and stand as a man without teaching him responsibility, accountability? Nigga, you take your beef for what you did. Nigga, don't put nobody else's name in for what you did. Nigga, what kind of a father is you? That's why I stood against Wack 100 bitch ass. And if he wouldn't have did that fake ass, disrespectful ass, I got paperwork on Duse M. On my mama, I got too much to be even worried about that nigga. Too much, nigga. Lawsuits after lawsuits and all kind of shit. Nigga, we getting to the bag. Dead on. Documentary coming, March Madness. For anybody in the Vegas area, come out tomorrow. Back to school supply drive. Active Chucks on September 3rd. We'll be out there all week. So pull up. If you haven't seen the paperwork, go ahead and check that thing out. Share it on your social medias. Hopefully some of these kids, you know, Wack
160 people in here. Hit that like button.
Where they can move around to different houses and hide out in different countries and all of that shit. These kids that they teaching that's cool can't do that.
What up, you Sherm head?
Iced out. You got stacks 280 on your shit. If you don't take that nigga off, you getting goofed, bitch ass nigga.
Real Damu love.
You went real Damu love, baby.
Frutas.
Real talk. Hold up, Mama Lisa in the what you call it? Pull up Mama Lisa.
Pretty good.
Oh, we got her, Mama Lisa.
Pretty good.
Got her, Mama Lisa.
I'm free and everything.
Free the go, free the go.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Mama Lisa.
Hey, Mama
Randall,
Lisa.
what up, fool? Salute.
What's up, brother? What's going on?
Oh, hey, shout out to Death to the Cloud Chasers. They in the motherfucking building though. Hey, hi girl.
Yo.
Hey, Deuce, you
That's
this one, boy. You done did
that paperwork. Remember to cite our source, activechucks.com. That paperwork was a gift from heaven that just fell in our lap. You know what I'm saying?
You said free to go. Do you want Iced Out to come upstairs?
Nah, fuck hell nah. That nigga got stats 280 on his PTR. We ain't rocking that shit.
Shout out PTK, bring him on.
Hey, PTK been acting real weird. Y'all niggas doing some obsessive.
Hey, yo, my nigga, yo, you gotta chill with that weird shit, my nigga. Y'all niggas.
Nah, bro, y'all following niggas around.
My nigga, ain't nobody following nobody, my nigga.
Ahead, bro.
Y'all niggas gotta chill with that shit, my nigga. That New York shit, bro, for real. Y'all gotta
Hey,
stand
y'all,
down.
I got something to say though, real fast.
Shit
Look.
awkward, bro. You
Hey.
making niggas
One mic on her, girl. One mic on her.
Wait, let me put my big mic on. Hold up here.
You got the big mic?
Now let's motherfucking go. Now I got one thing to say today. Everybody, welcome to Real Damu Love. If you haven't followed the house, scroll up there to the top. Y'all see the green house at the top, the little Monopoly house where it say Real Damu Love. Tag that house. Tap that thing. When you tap the house, join. If you haven't done so already, join the club. Now, everybody go down to the bottom and share the room. I see what is on right now. Everybody in here is allowed to share the room 3 times for show. If y'all looking at insights, I definitely do it every time. So share the room. Even the dog saying share the room. Hit that share sign. Share the room. Come on, y'all. Join in. Yep, thank y'all. Thank y'all. We joining the motherfucking club and we sharing the motherfucking room and we getting back to the good conversation and the topics that we having right now. Chat lives matter. Y'all know I'm gonna be over there because I'm on break right now and it's lit time. My dogs done had they puppuccinos. I got my blunts. So let's get it. Let's go. Motherfucking Rat 100 back. All right. The paperwork has surfaced. Click the link at the top. ActiveChucks.com. Y'all see it right there at the top in the link. Click the link. Read up, and let us know what you think. Turn up. Let's get it. Let's go. That's all I have to say. Am I loud? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
That's what I'm talking about. I got a big mic, man. I got my big mic. Thank you, Money.
You welcome.
Y'all got me fucked up.
We
ping up. Everybody hit that plus sign. Hit the, well, y'all know it ain't a plus sign no more. So hit the little share sign inside of there. Click on invite people. Some people don't know how to ping up. Click on invite people inside the share little box and just invite your whole network in here. Let them know we got we got what it's called. We got motherfucking content and we got motherfucking receipts. The receipts is in the motherfucking title. Let's get it. Let's go. They in the link. If you don't believe, click it yourself, read it yourself, and let's get it. Let's go. But invite your peoples, invite your folks. Whoever don't believe, let them know. Pull up and get the receipts they damn self. So let's get it. Let's go.
Hey, LF. Don't get quiet now, nigga.
Huh?
Don't get quiet now, nigga.
Oh, no, I was listening, man. I was listening.
My bad. Let me fast forward this a little bit.
Wait. Did you get a chance to read, though? I would rather you read than listen to me. Don't believe me.
I was doing both. I was listening and reading at the same time, man.
Yeah, bro. The nigga been working all along, bro. He trying to pull niggas into some bullshit, bro. All of that shit niggas going to, remember, we like, why would he lie on the big homie and say the big homie went to his studio and he got it on camera? Well, show us the camera. Nigga, the big homie wasn't out there. That nigga trying to get a big homie a case, bro. Why you think Messi Marv got off a social media, homie? So shout out to the big homie Messi Marv.
We said, fuck that, huh?
And the real Pacoima Paru, rest in peace, baby Sam, the general. You know what I'm saying? Niggas buried him yesterday, and just out of the blue, nigga, the paperwork come out. That was a gift from heaven. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers don't be fooled. Hopefully these kids that's in this community don't get their head knocked off, thinking that this is acceptable. Shit.
Gangland
Judas betrayed
Niem
Jesus.
in this
The
motherfucker.
disciples stoned his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, you betrayed these. He probably was trying to set Del Dog up too. Why is you fresh out and you calling Del Dog? That nigga Del Dog was going for that shit. Said, nah, don't give that nigga my number. That's what they doing. He telling you, nigga, that's what they doing. Nigga, these niggas is testifying from the grave that this nigga fake pussy ass, rat ass nigga. Damn.
Yo, Duse M, we got King Erna in the building. Shout out to King Erna.
Yeah, shout out King Erna.
I want to say a major honorable shout out to the room. But what I tell y'all about this cunt, huh? What I tell y'all about this cunt, huh?
We finna fast forward. I didn't want to listen
Hey,
to
listen,
to
we
no
having
King
a party
Erna.
tonight, man. Well, fuck this.
I didn't want to hear all that. Let's get to the content. Let's see, what's this? Oh yeah, we could close that too. Boom. Check. Man. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Brick Baby.
Yeah, he said when he seen him in the parking lot, he showed him like his wallet, but he said he seen some shiny shit. So now I'm thinking, was that a badge or something? What the fuck was the shiny?
Hey, Lil Stretch. Yo, hey, listen, man. Lil Stretch came out. He in the transmissions or whatever, right? That's his business. You know what I'm saying? He getting put off the hood, all of that. Whatever. That's his business, right? But we've been trying to find the video footage when Brick Ben said that when he jumped out the car that he showed a badge, bro. This is at the Novo, that when Wack 100 jumped out the car, he showed the badge. And then years later, Wack 100 slipped and showed that badge, bro. Brick one line. Brick knew this nigga was the police. Let's go.
Funny shit, man.
Right. Well, I ain't even really worried about that, but for all y'all niggas spoke up on New York rats, niggas spoke up
Get
on
these
our
likes
rats.
up,
Nigga,
man.
you need to
Hype me
expose
up.
all them motherfuckers. I'm not saying that y'all need to go knock them down. I'm not saying y'all need to beat them up, slice their face. I'm not telling you to do none of that. But I believe that the people who are in the streets need to know that this nigga's perpetrating a fraud. He's not what he claimed to be, and that he's going to cooperate with them people when the heat come down. So if you choose to and your morals don't prevent you from wanting to deal with somebody like he said that you can't trust, then you need to be exposed if you rap. Everybody needs to be like, don't come later and be like, man, I remember they exposed the paperwork, but man, shit, he didn't tell on me. When he ain't got the chance yet, go fuck with that nigga. Give him the opportunity.
Hey, listen, I want him to book me in and cuff and stuff me for nailing his wife to the cross. You hear me? Because I'm going to get her because, see, I wasn't going all the way there. I wasn't even putting his business out there, but she honors me, man. Me and my brother, Honorable Ghost, we didn't talk a million of times. She loves me, man. I got receipts to show it, but I ain't into exposing women. I'm going to take her from him. I'm going to Cali. How Big in him said, I'm going back to Cali, and I'm going to get me Kimberly.
Yo, let's share the room. Let's share the room. Let's share the room.
I seen them receipts with my own eyes.
Hey, Ghost, man, what you get, Money Train, what y'all getting from that? I want to hear what y'all see.
Shit like that, bro. Oh, how about the streets can tell what type of nigga we was dealing with, bro. Like, you could just tell what type of nigga this is, bro. This paperwork just is the validation for a motherfucker to stand on that shit. See, niggas don't like
This nigga's an exposer now.
But I don't call niggas rats if I ain't got
That's Ghost from the Exposers.
You feel what I'm saying? But if a nigga's a rat lover and a nigga's acting like a rat, I say all type of shit like that, but I'm not gonna come out and say this nigga's a snitch, this nigga's on paperwork. No, I'm not gonna do that. But you should. Black and white, nigga, it gives you something to fucking stand on, bro. And any nigga or any bitch in this room that reads this paperwork and feels a different way, like they still want to deal with a motherfucker like that, they ain't valid. They ain't got no
Share the room,
they ain't got no integrity. They ain't got no ethical means of anything, bro.
Real Damu.
They ain't right, bro. They is not right, bro. Damn, would have did it, and then that's crazy how y'all ended this.
Is that really key to profile?
Hold on, let me check. Hold on.
That's Keita.
It's me, blood.
Salute. What up, Keita?
Deuce, what it do, bro?
Y'all know I get clipped every week.
This a paperwork party.
We all getting clipped after this paperwork party. That nigga Rat 100 telling on all you niggas. You niggas going to Pelican Bay too.
Pelican Bay shoot program. 23
and that nigga the paperwork. Hey, Keita, check out that paperwork up there. That's what Tiny Draws was referring to. That the nigga was on the wiretap. See, them niggas is talking that he calling Del Dog. Well, he calling the homie from Main Street trying to get Del Dog number. Del Dog to tell him, oh, Stutterbox went bad. But Del Dog was sharp enough to know, well, hold on, nigga. I met you through Stutterbox. And the only way you would know and you out here calling trying to look for my number is if, nigga, you know he went bad because he went bad on you.
Oh,
So
he wasn't a standard rat. This guy isn't a standard rat. He's a rat that's also a CI. He done got down. He's an agent now, huh?
No, if you read the paperwork, when it goes down to confidential source number 2, it breaks down that he's previously provided. Let me read. I don't want to misquote. CCTV, come on up. Oh, you going viral with this one? Yeah, I know.
Real Damu love.
Good looking though.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, let me go to the exact words because they specifically describe Wack 100, aka BACK, BAC, aka confidential source number 2. They say confidential source number 2 has provided reliable historical information concerning the Main Street Mafia and Crip organization. So probably some of them dudes that went to the pen on Del Dog case, he probably got out on them niggas too, because they specifically said information on the Main Street. Remember he said, I saved them niggas, all them niggas went home. Nigga Wack was claiming he freed them niggas. And that nigga, and Stutterbox like, nigga, you ain't saved none of the homies. Del Dog went to the pig.
That cocksucker, listen, man, I ain't gonna lie, I done rolled me something up, y'all, and I try to tell the truth to the youngins, man. I rarely smoke, but I didn't lit me up some honorable gumbo, you hear me? And I actually got it from over in New York, Lynch Mob gumbo. But listen to me. I'm going to give y'all the understanding that this guy right here, he has been an individual working for these people for ages. The paperwork is just the icing on the cake. I know something that his woman gave me about him, but I'm not going to drop it because I don't think she would be, think it was honorable. But I'm this. He's not a rat lover. He's not just a rat, but he loved boys too. You hear me?
Hey, yep.
Uh-oh! He's a
Hello?
boy
Hey, you. Hello?
Wake it up.
That nigga like
Hello?
he says he likes the dildos. He like that pussy.
Let's talk about it.
Well, I don't really want to picture that, but yeah, I definitely think he got a little sugar in his tank. But we ain't even really concerned about his sexual preferences. We more so concerned about his lack of morals and all this other fuck shit he out here doing and trying to portray like at being almost 50 years old on the app talking about on Paru all day arguing with motherfuckers in other people's business, just dry snitching on motherfuckers. Like all of that shit is normal. Or
this was 3-4 years ago. I did this shit. This is crazy. He's still doing the same thing.
Hey, ain't that what he said about Jim Jones?
Exactly.
But he been a confidential informant, right? So now I don't worry about that Texas case. Remember he said he got
Go. wife the way he does, you know what kind of guy he is. And when I say the way he treats her, he doesn't.
I think you just really got a thing for Kim, man. Look, man, stop trying to get on Kim.
Hey, go.
Real quick.
Because I didn't give it to her one brother, but she has the thing for me too.
That's a fact.
Shout out CCTV. Shout out CCTV. Shout out Big Chuck, Death to the Cloud Chasers. The CCTV hits in the chat. He said that Tiny Draws called Wack 100 back because that's what it says in the paperwork. That's the alias of confidential informant number 2. Confidential informant number 2 is Back, B-A-C-K, and also Wack 100, as in Cash Jones. He was the one who was trying to get in contact with Del Dog. The reason he's trying to get in contact with Del Dog, he already told us the police deraided him. They took him to questioning. Well, he went to questioning. He says with his lawyer to the 64th floor or 54th floor of the federal building.
Can y'all hear it? Is it?
So you had a conversation with the Fed where that paperwork at. That means that there's an investigative report. It's called an IR. Unless y'all just, queen for a day, you sign a proffer agreement. Or maybe the nigga was already working. Who knows? But one thing for sure, if you believe what that nigga Stutterbox said, that the nigga was on wiretap talking about conspiracy to murder. And now we got the paperwork where they're talking about him on the wiretap. Is that what that nigga Stutterbox was trying to insinuate? That he was trying to get with Del Dog and talk to Del Dog so they could get up?
Hey, Deuce, let me ask you a question. You there, Deuce?
Go ahead.
Hey, look, you know how that nigga always talking about he in these buildings, he in this building, he in that building. Is that 64th floor, that building he talking about now? Is that the building he been talking about all this time?
Yeah, that's the building, that's the office for the 64th floor he been talking about.
Oh, now it come out.
Hey, Deuce, I got a question too.
About.
Yeah.
On that first page, not the last person on the first page, but the person right before that on that first page, that paragraph. In that paragraph, they don't say the name Back. They actually say the other name.
Yeah, no, you talking about at the end when he was finished talking to Deldo, the dude they call Main Street Style or whatever, they gave him an alias too. He said, well, I ain't really helped the Wack boy. I ain't really helped Wack boy. So now I know how to deal with him because he called 2 times the night before. And
thank you, hot girl.
And but it was missed calls, and then this morning, for a total of 3 calls, he's calling the nigga Main Street Style back to back to back, trying to track.
Main Street Style is Mark Stevens. Let's go.
Track him down because he need a line on Del Dog. Del Dog didn't go for it because he was too sharp. And then once old boy was like, well, how do I handle it? All right, I'm gonna handle it like this. And he said, because I ain't helped the Wack boy, blase blah. So that I ain't helped Wack boy, not the Wack boy, Wack boy. And that's where they revealed.
And that's where it revealed that was him. But we got Greg Caden and even Wack admitting that he called He called what you call it. So now I want to take y'all so that y'all remember this. When we first ran this paperwork on Clubhouse, Wack 100 did not deny, or he went and brought Greg Caden and Reggie Wright Jr. to Clubhouse like within 10 minutes, right? Now I want y'all to remember this too. There's two sides of the investigation: the Main Street Mafia Crip, Deja 34 part, and then there's the Death Row Suge Knight Biggie Smalls murder part. Let's get into it.
He said they had two sides. They had the Suge Knight side and they had the Main Street Crip side. Right? Mr. Jones was a target on the Suge Knight side. This paperwork is...
He said he was a target on the Main Street, on the Suge Knight side. But listen, he never denies the paperwork.
All Main Street Crips. Everybody talked to in this paperwork is the Main Street Crips.
Everybody talked to in this paperwork was Main Street Crips. Well, that's a damn lie. And there's two sides of it. So everybody talked to from the Main Street investigation was and the Deja 34 was Main Street Crip. Is Shaq a Main Street Crip? Is Mark Stevens a Main Street Crip? Is Ray J a Main Street Crip? And you ain't gotta believe me, you know what I'm saying, that they talked to him, you know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure they wouldn't deny that they talked to him, you know what I'm saying? In fact, I think that y'all could ask CS2 BACK himself, can he get his artist Ray J to say whether or not this statement was his? I mean, that's pretty easy. He brought him on Clubhouse before. Why don't you bring Ray J and ask him, is one of the pages of the 14 pages interview where he talked to the sheriff detectives, Paul Fournier and Detective Michael Coet. I mean, listen, you saying the paperwork is fake. We can clear this up right now. Is this your statement to the sheriff department, the Joint Task Force, Ray J? Yeah. See, the truth cannot run, a lie cannot be the truth, man. This J statement. Hold on. I don't want y'all to have to wait this whole time. Hold on. So, back at it, like a crack addict. So he says that this is where Wack is blatantly lying to y'all, saying that there's two sides of the case, the Death Row Suge Knight side, and then the Main Street case, and he said he had nothing to do with the Main Street case, even though he quarterback engineered it. Greg Caden told him that he had in wit. He said he has nothing, that he was on the death eye. He said only Main Street Crips were interviewed in this investigation. Well, on September 11, 2008, at approximately 1300 hours, investigators interviewed Ray J. Norwood. Norwood is the rapper who victim Ross introduced to Mark Stevens to facilitate a recording contract with Koch Entertainment in New York. Norwood told investigators that he and Ross are neighbors and became friends. He learned that Ross had connections in the music industry and inquired about making a contract regarding a record deal. Ross introduced Norwood to Mark Stevens, the co-owner of Deja 34 record label based in Atlanta, Georgia. In November 2007,
Ross traveled with Norwood to New York to meet with Mark Stevens at Koch Entertainment. Stevens made it clear that Ross would receive his fair cut, a percentage from sales, if Norwood was to sign with Koch Entertainment. After weeks passed, Ross learned that he would not be compensated for his involvement in the signing of Norwood. Koch Entertainment became impatient and threatened to call the deal off. Ross told Norwood, Ray J, to go ahead and sign the contract and that he would deal with his own issues with Stevens. It was Norwood's belief that Ross was not treated fairly and should have been compensated for his role in the project, especially after Stevens told him he would be compensated. Norwood told investigators that he acknowledged Ross on his latest album cover by writing, Box. Thanks for putting this whole deal together. So, Wack is lying to y'all. This is evidence right here that he's lying. Oh, we got more paperwork. Mark Stevens ain't from Main Street. They talked to him. Shaq ain't from Main Street. They talked to him. So now what we're going to get into is the fact that there were actual crimes committed, right? Let's get to this. Extortion, attempt against Shaq that Wack 100 was pulled into by Stutterbox. This is the title, an attempted extortion, but Wack wasn't arrested. Y'all believe that? Tell me in the comments.
I always wondered about this. Your connection. What's the story with behind Wack 100, aka Cash Jones, Shaq, Stutterbox, and yourself?
Well, I only know, all of those guys through the investigation. I know of all of them because of this ongoing investigation. It took, 3.5 years. So Stutterbox was the beginning of it, right? He came.
So Cash Jones has nothing to do with the Main Street's case, but Stutterbox is the beginning of the investigation. Let's go.
Forward, because he had been, prior to me meeting with Stutterbox, us meeting with Stutterbox, me and Darren Dupree, he was involved in these extortion attempts towards Shaq, because he had been hooking up with, allegedly, with Shaq's old lady. And then he was trying to extort money out of Shaq, saying that he was going to release, photographs or, compromising, things about Shaquille. And Shaq had a friend that I think his name was Mark Turner or something like that. Don't hold me to that name, but I think his name was Mark Turner, a guy from Atlanta. And that guy, Mark knew
Stevens,
the shot caller, the head guy for the gang that Stutterbox was associating with, which was the Main Street Crips. And his name was Del Dog. And so, Shaq's like, man, this clown's trying to extort money from me, blah, blah, blah. He tells Mark. Well, Mark reaches out to Del Dog and says, man, you gotta square your guy away. Can you deal with Stutterbox? Tell him to knock this shit off. So Del Dog and the Main Street Crips go and they discipline and threaten Stutterbox. Stutterbox is scared for his life, so he goes running to law enforcement. So law enforcement gets involved in him. Then during that process, he mentions that, he knows something about Biggie's murder. And he tells us there's this guy named Cash Jones, who's a big dope dealer for Suge Knight. He's a truck driver. So we're like, oh shit, okay, well, that's interesting. If we can get some leverage like that on Suge, like a Keefy D thing, right? And so we go and start investigating Cash Jones, and we spend months, and it becomes very, very clear he's not doing anything other than working his ass off, pushing his truck, trying to get some magazine off the ground, and he's just hustling. He's certainly not dealing any dope. And so we realize that Stutterbox is just feeding us this bullshit. In fact, Stutterbox goes so far as to tell us, hey man, this dude's house is loaded with weapons. It's like Beirut in there, it's
They said that Stutterbox told them that Wack's house was like Beirut in there. I was providing guns to the Crips. Remember that? We gonna play that. So the feds made sure they tricked Wack out the house before they raided it because they were afraid that it would have been a shootout. He has artillery in there. They found guns, and Wack was still not charged. This is nasty work.
He's got all kinds of illegal weapons. So we do a search warrant at the house. Of course, don't come up with shit.
Wow.
And so eventually we, contact Cash Jones and Wack.
He said they didn't come up with shit. Greg Caden is on here lying. Why is the police on here lying about what?
Hey man, here's the story. This is why we're here. Kind of fucked up. Sorry. We're being led on by this individual who claims you were doing all these things, and so we're washing our hands of it all, and that's it. That's how Stutterbox, was dealing with some extortion bullshit. Shaq. He turns us on to Cash Jones, which turns into an absolute wild goose chase, a waste of time.
No.
And that's the story.
So Stutterbox is extorting, attempted to extort Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal for the money he felt he was owed from the Ray J shit, right? With a lead sex tape. But how did he do it? Wack has nothing to do with this, right? Well, I'm gonna read y'all the work after this. Let's go.
How does the relationship end with Stutterbox and Shaq? Or how does that resolve?
It doesn't go anywhere. There's nothing there. It's just a bunch of, if Stutterbox is a really interesting character. He may be one of the worst people that I've ever come across insofar as how devious he is. I wish we'd have known all of this, in the beginning, but it's things that we learned in hindsight. So, that thing was never going to go anywhere. He was hoping that Shaq would chip him off some money and make the whole thing go away. But Shaq was like, nah, I'm not going to get extorted by this fucking clown.
Right. Wow. That was a great story, though.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah, because I was wondering how did that fit? Because I know I saw it in one of the episodes of Unsolved. You went on. His character was pulled up in a Rolls Royce and everything.
So exactly the way it was. He was driving one of the very first day we met him at a Starbucks up in West Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls up in a Phantom Rolls Royce, and so living in a really nice house and wearing all kinds of bling. So it's a really interesting thing. But he gets it all through, criminal misconduct.
Right.
So, remember Wack was talking about how he was trying to get Stutterbox during this investigation to unalive Dildo, how he was kicking him in the shin, telling him to do it. And Stutterbox was like, nah, the hood needs Dildo. I can't do it and all of that stuff, right? And then remember, Wack 100 was talking about he the one that he said Dildogs in life knew Box right. He was the one providing Box with guns. He was supplying Crips with guns. Remember? Let's get to this. We're going to make it all make sense for y'all, man.
Wait.
Hey,
So
no.
listen.
Answer this question.
No, I'm going to get out. Hey, listen.
Answer
I'm
this
going to make
question.
this announcement right here.
We
I'm
need
gonna get
answers.
out the way.
We
When it
need
hits,
answers.
Don't go to hollering. What?
Bro.
No, nigga. I'm going to get out of the way.
I'm standing
I'm
on what I
let that man
say.
do what he want to do.
You
giving guns to niggas, right? What's up with that?
The Crips. That Crips killed.
What generation? What generation?
They know who they is.
So you giving Kiwe's guns?
Always, yeah, nigga. What his whole neighborhoods I didn't get that with. And what? So what that mean?
Knock down your own con? I'm saying that's weird.
What happened? What happened?
My own kind.
Yeah, what happened at the House of Blues?
They was going at their own, my nigga.
They was going at their own, my nigga. So he said he was giving guns to kill so that they could kill each other. Sounds like some real COINTELPRO shit, right? He's supplying the Crips with guns. I wonder if he was working with the ATF. But in any event, he's supplying the Crips with guns. He was supplying Box with guns during his beef with Del Dog and the Main Street Crips, right? And then he's on here. Now, we just heard Detective Greg Caden live for Wack 100 saying that that they didn't find nothing when they ran up in his house. And that basically alluded to the fact like Wack 100 didn't have nothing to do with none of this, right? Well, we got some paperwork that says different. You know what I'm saying? We got some paperwork that says different. Let me get to the work. You know what I'm saying? So, after approximately 1 hour after arriving, Rouse had converted music studio, located in the rear house. All right. Ross explained that this kidnapping and assault was the result of a business deal gone bad. And Shaquille O'Neal's belief that Ross had a sex tape of O'Neal with a woman who was not his wife, and that Ross was having an affair with his wife, Shani. He said that near the end of 2007, he befriended a rap artist named Ray J. Ross negotiated with a music recording executive named Mark Stevens, whose business is located in Atlanta, Georgia. Stevens partnered with NBA player Shaquille O'Neal, who funded the company. During the negotiations, Stevens agreed to pay a percentage from the profits to Ross if Ray J signed with Koch Entertainment, which is based in New York. In November 2007, Ross flew with Ray J to New York to meet with Alan Grunblock. See, it say with Alan Koch. No, Alan Grunblock from Koch Entertainment. And Mark Stevens regarding a recording contract. A few weeks later, Ross met with Stevens regarding his contract and the regarding the contract and the recording contract for Ray J. During this meeting, Stevens let Ross know that he would not be receiving any money for his involvement in the project and that there was only one contract and that was for Ray J. Ray J refused to sign the contract at that time and the deal was held back for approximately 3 weeks. Ultimately, Ross convinced Ray J that he should sign away and that he would deal with his own contract issues later. During the next few weeks, Ross continued to request his money from Mark Stevens. Stevens made it clear he was to get nothing. Ross also talked to Shaquille O'Neal in hopes that he would agree to pay the money owed. During this period of time, O'Neal apparently was going through marital discord and had his wife followed by private investigators. O'Neal received photographs of his wife having lunch with Ross. He became angry and got a message to Ross that their business was done and to stay away from his wife, right? So, boom. Let me see. Ross stated that on February 26, 2008, he drove to the West Hollywood area to meet some friends at the Pink Dot located at Sunset Boulevard. He estimated that he arrived at the location around 10 p.m. He parked his vehicle in the driveway to the location, then got out and began talking with an acquaintance known only as H, right? So, boom, let me get to this one. So Ross did give up Cash Jones. And when he gave up Cash Jones, I'm finna get to the actual paperwork, right?
Ross, on page 5, Ross, who was still upset over the fact he was owed money, had a friend named Cash Jones deliver a message to Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal. Jones told them that Ross had a videotape of O'Neal having sex with a woman inside of Ross's home in July 2007. Stevens, who had been to Ross's home, knew that he had surveillance cameras throughout the home and that O'Neal had, in fact, been there. Ross told investigators Fournier and Coet, Detective Michael Coet, the same Detective Michael Coet that said, well, we'll get to that after this, right? That he viewed the surveillance footage from the surveillance system monitor. However, they told Detective Fournier and Coet that he viewed the surveillance footage from the surveillance system monitor. However, he never downloaded it to a tape. He said the footage has since been recorded over by later surveillance. Ross was adamant that he was just bluffing in hopes that he would get the money that was owed to him, right? And so they go into all of this stuff about Box, Del Dog, etc., right? But remember, he told them that he had Wack 100 deliver that message. Now remember, that message that was delivered in that title just said that it was an attempted extortion. So under conspiracy, right? Conspiracy to extort, right? Under conspiracy to extort, you have an overt act. I think right now on Big U case, Dale Morrison is alleging that the payments that he was making to Big U were a debt that was paid to him. He said he was being extorted. Other people were going to pick up those payments. So they've been charged for extortion because they completed one overt act as part of an alleged conspiracy. So during the same period of time, O'Neal and Stevens felt Ross this is Mark Stevens implicating Wack 100, right? So first, Robert Ross said, I sent them to do the extortion. I sent Wack to do the extortion, right? O'Neal and Stevens felt Ross was causing too much bad publicity for them because he had been arrested for possession of firearm and was dropping O'Neal's name to police when stopped for a traffic violation. O'Neal and Stevens therefore made the decision to sever all ties with Ross. Within the next couple months, Stevens received a voicemail message from Ross stating, I need to talk to you, man. The big fella, he's slipping. He's making a lot of mistakes. Soon after, Stevens received a call from Cash Jones. Jones told him that Ross had the videotape of Shaquille O'Neal having sex with a woman, not his wife, at Ross's home, and that Ross could take the tape to TMZ and get a lot of money. I got the tape. You know what I'm saying?
Not on that case.
You know, I'm the one that told on,
Put
right?
that on Pyru.
On
That
Pyru,
didn't make
I ain't on
statements.
none of them cases.
Put that on Pyru, didn't make statements.
So,
man, put that on Pyru.
But
Put
answer
that on
that, though, the
Pyru.
Stutterbox just
That's
called
gonna be
my
another
phone.
story we gonna talk about
Hey,
later.
what Stutterbox got to do with stuff?
I'm talking about that paperwork, nigga. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You saying I'm on paperwork?
Bro, am I lying? Put that on Pyru, you not.
Wax on paperwork?
Put that on Pyru, you not.
Put that on 6-0 wax on paperwork.
6-0 grip, nigga. You on paperwork.
On 6-0 Crip, nigga, you on paperwork. That's what happened. We finna get into this other thing real quick. And then to give y'all a better example of the story, then I'm gonna take y'all out. Let's get into this, man.
2008, a man by the name of Robert Ross went into a convenience store in West Hollywood. He was then kidnapped at gunpoint and was forced to drive to a home in South Central Los Angeles, in the territory of the Main Street Mafia Crips. There, he was beaten, robbed, and demanded to return Shaquille O'Neal's sex tape. Stay tuned. Let's turn back the clock. The year is 1992, and Shaquille O'Neal roared his way from LSU all the way to the NBA, where he became synonymous with both power and quickly he became one of the league's most dominant players and one of the US's most popular celebrities. As a literal larger-than-life figure, Shaq also dominated off the court, starring in movies, Pepsi commercials, gracing video game and magazine covers, making wrestling appearances, and topping the charts with one of his most dear passions, rapping, spitting on the mic. Along names such as the notorious B.I.G., Nas, and Jay-Z, the big Aristotle showed us chops on the mic, even featuring on a Michael Jackson single. Yeah, seriously. Of course, Shaq doesn't get a King of Pop or Jay-Z feature by just dunking a basketball. He was actually an adept rapper for his time period. And although he already had millions of dollars, worldwide fame, and basically anything that he wanted more. He called himself a Renaissance man. And hey, he was Shaquille O'Neal, man. Whatever he wanted, he got. No diddy. So it's a year later now. Fresh off a Rookie of the Year campaign, Shaq founded his own record label called Twism Records, with Twism standing for The World Is Mine. Fitting. While being one of the league's best players from out the gate.
Is it true that you're the only rookie that was ever named Player of the Week in the first week?
Yes, sir, it is. I had a pretty good week.
He was also recording with some of the hottest artists in the 90s, the first of which being a rap group called Wshh, one of Shaq's childhood idols. The record was a song they'd already recorded, called What's Up Doc, Can We Rock? They added Shaq last minute as a feature, and the song blew up. Coming out in the summer of 1993, it was a top 40 Billboard hit. To compare, Tweaker by Jello Ball is a top 30 Billboard hit, and look where it got him. So yeah, Shaq was hot stuff. It was actually fire.
Are we ready for this party?
Yeah.
Guests are on their way, and food and drinks were just delivered.
Now, what about the...
For a time, at least.
What's up, Doc? I'm the hooper, viper, protected by viper. When I'm out the hooping, yo, you better decipher.
That single showed that Shaq could hold his own in the booth, and many more records followed. What's Up Doc became the lead single of Shaq's first project, called Shaq Diesel, which went platinum, selling over 1 million copies. Buoyed by this massive success, Jive Records, the label that put Wshh and Shaq together in the first place, offered him a 3-album, $10 million deal.
Agent called and he said, bro, you're not gonna believe this. And I said, what? He said, they offer you a $10 million 3-album deal. And I was like, I gotta take it.
The next album he dropped was called Shaq Food, The Return, where the first song was No Hook, featuring RZA and Method Man.
The Shaq attack has risen. Roll call 3 p.m. This is Twism. Always and forever.
The album went gold, selling about 500,000 copies. After this, Shaq left Jive Records and partnered with Interscope, where in 1996 he dropped the best album from any athlete ever, You Can't Stop the Rain, featuring the notorious B.I.G., Jay-Z, Nas, and Rakim. For my younger audience, that's like Jello dropping a project with Drake, NBA Youngboy, Lil Uzi, and damn, Cardi. Shaq was stamped in the music game. Just a few months prior, Shaq made the bombshell announcement that he'd be signing a 7-year, $121 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. From there, he became the legend that we all know. On the music side, he commemorated his move with the track Straight Playing. Symbolizing the arrival of Shaq Diesel on the West Coast. Now, comparatively speaking, You Can't Stop the Rain didn't do that well, selling 200,000 copies. Shaq did one more album partnering with A&M Records in 1998, which featured Kobe Bryant in a song called 3 Times Dope. However, Kobe wasn't credited because of label issues or something like that. But it's out there. I'll play a snippet right now.
I reach destinations with split-second acceleration in a capsule of time to witness your bone evaporation.
When Phil Jackson came into the picture, Shaq let rapping take a back seat. And during the three-peat run in LA, he didn't release anything, recording one album called Shaquille O'Neal Presents Super Friends Volume 1, which never released. He dropped one last track called Drop Another Day number 34, which started a beef with a rapper called Mad Skills. And after that, he never dropped a full rap project again. The year is now 2004, and the Los Angeles Lakers are losing their groove. They lost their first NBA Finals in the Kobe and Shaq era, and while their status was nothing but solidified, Shaq's time in LA was almost up. Around this time, Shaq created a new label with his cousin Money Mark Stevens, a shrewd businessman who he regularly consulted with while he had Twism Records, which went under in 2001. This time, Shaq was looking to be the executive rather than the talent, and was looking for artists to partner with for his label. Now, enter Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox, due to his penchant for stuttering when he gets nervous or excited. He met Shaquille O'Neal at a party in LA in around 2003, and they became good friends. Stutterbox happened to know a lot of people around the music scene in LA. Shaq's new label, looking for new artists, commissioned Stutterbox to go and find new people for him, and he followed through. Plus interest, it seems. Enough to where Shaq shouted him out in a 2006 remix of his song with a notorious B.I.G. That's not all he shouted out, though. In fact, he had a lot of guys in a set to rap.
Man, money Marcus Bullet, cousin Kenny is my cat, man. Dog and Box got my back, man. K Slade, Corey Guns, Main Street, Lil Shaq, man.
So, who are these guys? And what's Main Street? Well, see, Robert Ross was affiliated with the Main Street Mafia Crips of South Central LA. This is where stuff gets sticky. While I've lived in South Central LA before, I have not had a singular gang interaction. Like, the closest I got, I went to a basketball court alone on the weekend, broad daylight. It's the middle of the day on a weekend, and there's no kids, no one around. I'm wondering what's going on. I see some gang tags, I put it together, and I get up out of there, I turn on the jets. I am not about that life. So I brought in someone who is. Lamonte Duse M Sims is an OG coming from the Fruittown Brims, a set of the Bloods in West South Central. He's worked with guys like YG and Ty Dolla $ign before, and featured on the viral Brim anthem, Hit Your Brimmin'. He's also the owner of the media outlet Active Chucks, where he's interviewed major LA players like Suge Knight, as well as our main men Robert Ross and Money Mark Stevens.
Stutterbox is the nexus to this whole investigation.
In late 2007, Ross formed a relationship with his neighbor Ray J, and was able to bring him onto Shaq and Mark Stevens' label, with the help of Death Row affiliate Cash Jones, aka Wack 100. That'll be important later. During the initial negotiations, Robert Ross and Mark Stevens agreed that Ross would make a percentage of royalties based off of whatever music that Ray J and the label put out together. But when they met in New York a few weeks later,
now, mind you, Robert Ross
to payment.
is $8 million.
For it. And we're going to nix the deal if he didn't sign. Stutterbox tells Ray J signed the deal, and
I'll get my money out of these guys.
The project ended up being a commercial success, topping the charts of Billboard Hip Hop and R&B. The main single was Sexy Can I, which actually had Shaq in the background of the music video.
Is it true that Shaq invested in your music career?
Yeah. Harold has metastatic prostate cancer, but like you, Harold has stuff to do. He takes new
He gave us, I think, 1.5 million for Sexy Can I. Wow. Money Mark, Wack 100, we had another partner, and then Shaq. And we recouped the number back for Shaq in, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months. And everything else has been profitable since.
All the while, Stutterbox was still trying to get his money back. After weeks of constantly requesting money from Mark and Shaq, there was no budging from either guy. So
Robert Ross and Cash Jones come up with a conspiracy to blackmail and extort Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens for the money that Robert Ross felt he was owed for putting together the Ray J deal.
Now hold on, I know that sounds crazy, but hear it out. So Shaq and Stutterbox are good friends at this point, right? Stutterbox even introduced him to other members of the Main Street Crips, including the leader Liddell Rawls, aka Del Dog, remember that, and Kevin Haran, who went by the name of Lil Shaq. Sound familiar?
Dog and Box got my back, man. Main Street, Lil Shaq, man.
So, not only does Shaq rep the Main Street set, but the other people that he mentioned are literally his family. Mark and Kenny
Cousin Kenny is my cat, man.
are his blood relatives, first cousins. And Corey Guns is his godson. But who gets the screen time? Not Kenny or Corey, but Stutterbox.
But him and Shaq was tight, and Shaquille O'Neal, prior to the deal, hung out with him, partied with him, even went to his house where Robert Ross leaves. Shaquille O'Neal had invited his get these lights up. Friend there had sex with her there, you know what I'm saying? Shoved his hands all in her ass and all of this stuff.
So yeah, Stutterbox, Robert Ross, came home to a security cam footage and saw Shaq. Yeah. So anyway, that's leverage. This happened around July 2007, before Shaquille divorced his wife. That's infidelity from a global superstar during the 2000s. TMZ would literally be slobbering. TMZ was going to slobber all over that. So through Cass Jones, Wack 100, Ross claimed to have recorded and saved the footage and insinuated that he could sell it to TMZ and make a lot of money. Additionally, get this.
Now, Robert Ross, another story plot. So Wack and Robert Ross attempted to extort Shaquille O'Neal and Money Mark Stevens. And these aren't my words. Hold on. Let's shut this down real quick, right? Let's stop sharing. We could go right back to that. We can go right back to that. I want y'all to see Detective Greg Cadence from the video that I showed y'all, the extortion attempt against Shaq that Wack 100 was pulled into by Stutterbox. Do y'all see the title? This is Detective Greg Cadence. Why Cass Jones wasn't arrested when they had him dead to right. Stutterbox snitched on him and said he sent them. Mark Stevens verified and validated that's who brought the message. That's extortion, bro. They let the extortion go because now he's extorting for them. Let's get back to the content, man. This is nasty work. CS2 BACK. Let's go. Twist, seeing that Shaquille O'Neal and Shani O'Neal were having a rocky relationship. As the story goes, he allegedly played in to be a counselor and it is rumored began to have sex with Shani O'Neal. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I said, Robert Ross lies about a lot, but it's been consistent. Even a lot of the police officers in their reports were citing that this allegation might have possibly been true. Shaquille O'Neal hired a private investigator to follow his ex-wife, and bring back footage of Robert Ross and Shani O'Neal having brunch together out they met in Texas or somewhere down south back east.
Apparently Robert Ross told Shani O'Neal about the sex tape and even offered to sell it to her. She also said she didn't believe it was a sex tape because he was a liar and he never slept with her.
I started that site in 2008 when I quit my job as a lawyer to travel the world.
So anyways, regardless of all of what happened previously, I think we can all agree here that Robert Ross is moving hella shiesty. I mean, he did say he's gonna get it back his way. I mean, he's a street millionaire. What do you expect? But here's where he messed up. He messed with Shaq Diesel. Hey, no guys. One thing Shaq didn't play about back then was leaks. During Kobe Bryant's deposition in his 2004 Colorado case, he name-dropped Shaq to the people who were interviewing him, claiming that Shaq would not pay his woman to say anything, and that he's already paid up to $1 million for stuff like this. Now, listen, I'm not gonna choose a side for you guys, but the alleged victim, 3 days before she charged Kobe, bragged about being with him to 5 people. She'd apparently tried to get with Eminem, and her friend described her as having a celebrity addiction. At least from Kobe's point of view, this was just infidelity. And when Shaq did it, he married Shani in 2002, he made sure to cover his tracks. Now here goes one of his business partners, who, by the way, had a track of criminal activity, and Shaq was claiming to want to reform him, but he'd also been dropping Shaq's name to police officers. So this is the guy who's trying to throw all of that now down the drain. Shaq wasn't going. Enter Del Dog, the leader of the Main Street Mafia Crips, and one of the most famous men of South Central LA.
You had to hear about Del Dog. He was like God.
Christened the Street Apostle, Del Dog was the founder of 4 Life Records and the 4 Life Mafia Car Club, the latter of which became the predecessor for an entire car subculture in Japan. He was also tight with Steve Harvey and Ice Cube, both of whom starred in a documentary funded by Shaquille O'Neal. Seen as nearly a biblical figure in his hood, he organized toy and food drives every Thanksgiving, Christmas, and summer, with Shaq even pulling up sometimes alone. Additionally, he was a devout follower of Christ in his later years, of which he did his best to spread the good word around his hood. Like one of his members said,
"We was crippin' for the street, now we crippin' for Christ."
But like every person in power, there are 2 sides to the coin.
He's like a legend in Los Angeles. Some people even call him the king of Los Angeles. If you listen to most people, he was like a ghetto Robin Hood, right? Necessary evils.
Necessary evils.
Lord,
I cannot kill all these niggas hating on me, man. That's what I said to God. I said, I cannot kill all these niggas that's hating, man.
2 weeks later, Robert Ross, Stutterbox, was at the Pink Dot in West Hollywood when he encountered some of his old partners from the Main Street Crips. They blocked his car from leaving and told him that Dog wanted to see him. They forced him at gunpoint to drive his Rolls Royce back to South Central LA, where they dropped him off in front of a member's house, where Liddell Rawls, Del Dog, was waiting. Per Ross's account, Dog and some other guys started jumping him, pistol whipping and all of this stuff for about an hour. They then took him to a studio in the back of the house, where they beat him some more, took his diamond necklace, his diamond earrings, Rolex watch, and $15,000 in cash. While saying, Mark and Shaq know who the real boss is now. Del Dog then demanded the tape and $100,000, to which Stutterbox replied, his mom and sister needed to see him soon or else they would get suspicious. But he'd be able to get $60K and the tape in just a few hours. Del Dog then handed him his keys for his house and his car, and let him out. Now, this is where our story gets even juicier. Robert Ross, up to this point, had been working with the police.
He was working with Detective Darren Dupree and Greg Caden, which was a joint task force. They were both LAPD officers, primarily focused on the Tupac and Biggie murder investigations.
Whoa, hold on, huh? Why? Why?
Robert Ross Stutterbox was also a suspect in the unaliving of Biggie Smalls, the notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace. Well, they had informants say it, and the name was Amir Muhammad. Well, Stutterbox went by the alias. Robert Ross went by the alias.
And to top it all off,
the Main Street Crips are already under federal investigation. I'm talking about home invasions, drug dealings. The FBI, ATF, DEA already has federal wiretaps going on.
Which is why this crime was able to be so fleshed out in the first place. They'd already had wiretaps placed on the Main Street Crips. Man. Listen, we talking about Biggie and Tupac on an NBA channel. Bro, like and subscribe, man. Who's really doing this? Back to box.
He leaves, jumps in his Rolls Royce. He calls his handler, Darren Dupree, and Darren Dupree tells him to walk and report the kidnapping and robbery at the local police station, which he did.
Now, Robert Ross's informant situation and motives are still murky, but what is known is that instead of going home and receiving the tape and the $60,000, he went to the LAPD 77th Division station, beaten and bloodied, and told the officers about what had just happened, and implicated Liddell Rawls, Shaquille O'Neal, and Mark Stevens. Now, was there any evidence other than hearsay to prove that Shaq and Mark Stevens put a hit out on Robert Ross? No, not really. But remember the wiretaps. The LAPD found that around the time that Robert Ross was kidnapped, a flurry of calls was exchanged between Mark Stevens and Liddell Rawls. Now, I just finished up The Wire season 1, and bro, when I read that, I said, bro, literally bar for bar, man, I was shocked. So, there's strong evidence that Money Mark called Del Dog to handle Stutterbox, something Greg Kading, the officer that worked with Stutterbox and the handler of the Tupac and Biggie cases, also corroborated.
Shaq's like, man, this clown's trying to extort money from me, blah, blah, blah. He tells Mark, well, Mark reaches out to Del Dog and says, man, you gotta swear your guy away. Can you deal with Stutterbox? Tell him to knock this shit off. So Del Dog and the Main Street Crips go and they discipline and threaten Stutterbox.
But Ross didn't press charges right away. Sometime after the kidnapping, he was incarcerated again, which led to a delay for almost 3 years. Then, in the summer of 2011, he officially filed a civil complaint accusing Shaq, Mark Stevens, Del Dog, and 7 other Main Street Crip members of kidnapping, assault and battery, and robbery. From there, the case was picked up from all the major news outlets, with bombastic headlines like Shaq Attack and the like. But then, after the preliminary hearing, the case was inexplicably dropped. Why? Well, apparently, Robert Ross perjured himself in court. He lied on the stand. Wack 100, his former partner, and in on that first Ray J deal, claims to know why.
To help a certain individual out, I called my attorney, had the attorney put Greg Caden and Mark Stevens together. They put that together to ask Box on stand. You go pull the paperwork. Have you ever
Who you talking about, Lou?
Work for the LAPD FBI as a known snitch? He lied on the oath and said no. Greg Caden takes a stance, provides a document that this dude is in fact one of our informants, this, that. At that point, the judge looks at it. He perjured himself. Therefore, any allegations, any claims he's bringing on anybody is non and void. They dropped the charges on these 7 Crips and let them go. So in a sense, this power roof freed the Crips.
Now,
Free radicals.
The Paru, this Paru freed the Crips. This shit crazy. That like button if you fuck with the
Definitely nasty work, bro.
Now here's the thing. Bang that like button to free Big
Wack
U.
100 was also allegedly an FBI informant at the time, but this time for Death Row Records in regarding the Biggie Smalls case. What's going on, bro? Lamonte, who's actually got beef right now with Wack 100, broke it down for me. Buckle up. So, for context, after the death of Biggie Smalls, there were allegations that the LAPD was involved in the murder. And not only that, but they hid their involvement in the preceding trials. Biggie's family then filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the LAPD in the city of LA, demanding over $400 million.
Detective Greg Caden, he helped federalize that Main Street case, but that wasn't his case. He's running the Biggie murder investigation and the Tupac Death Row Wshh stuff. So that's his priority. There's a $400 million lawsuit against the LAPD and the city of Los Angeles, which would have bankrupt Greg Caden and Darren Dupree. The task force was created to bring up a different theory that didn't implicate any police officers in participating or assisting in the unaliving of Biggie Smalls, the notorious Big. That's his only focus, to bring up a theory so that they could get off this $400 million lawsuit. If Detective Coet would have spoke up on the stand, or Detective Fournier, they could have asked them about everybody who was on this investigation, including the informant. Informants being confidential source 2 BACK.
Now, who is CS2 BACK? Well, according to Lamonte's findings, that is Wack 100 Cash Jones, who's listed in the investigations while Del Dog was speaking with Mark Stevens. Through Mark Stevens, who is now Cash Jones's employer at Deja 34 Records thanks to the Ray J deal, he wanted to convey the information that Stutterbox had gone sour. Del Dog declines. The police investigation referred to him as CS2, confidential source 2, and Mark Stevens confirmed his identity later on. The priority being the case of the notorious B.I.G. and Jones's ability to be able to point out the culprit as being Wardell Fouts, aka Poochie, as a plausible story. If the police officers working on the Stutterbox case were to testify, they were liable to exposing Cash Jones's relationship with the police due to him being involved tangentially, and thus rupturing the relationship needed to have a working theory to save the city of LA and the LAPD $400 million. So they left their lower-ranking informant out to dry, and the case was dropped. But hey, that's just a theory. A gang theory. That was poor. That was poor. Thanks for watching. My bad.
Hey, man, Kip Kamey, man. Y'all go over there and follow my boy Kip Kamey 11, man. KIPKAME. He did a hell of a job telling that story and bringing it to life, man. So, mind you, I exposed the CS2 BACK paperwork while I'm on Clubhouse doing that. 10 minutes later, Wack 100 brings Detective Greg Caden and Reggie Wright Jr. on there. And at the beginning, neither one of them had a problem with the initial wiretap paperwork that says CS2 BACK. Let's get to it.
Reggie sent you a document, and I'm looking at that and looking at the name.
Hold on.
Him,
we cooking tonight.
I know it's Del Dog. And they got a name on there called BACK, B-A-C-K, and it has some shit. Let me pull this shit up so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. BACK, and it has some shit. It says CS2. Now, can you tell the people what my position in this case? How did Cash Jones
get some more lights up?
How did I get involved or implemented in this case with Stutterbox?
Okay. So, did y'all hear him or Greg Caden? He done sent him the work. Reggie then got the work. They're on here. They've seen this paperwork. Not once did they dispute the CS2 BACK, that this person on this call being confidential source number 2 BACK. In fact, Wack denied that was him on the call, right? We're going to play that one more time.
So it all started when there was an FBI agent who told us that he had an informant that...
All right, so, Greg, Reggie sent you a document, and I'm looking at that and looking at the names, MS, I'm identifying that as Mark Stevens, DD, I know it's Dale Dog, and they got a name on there called BACK, B-A-C-K, and it has some shit. Let me pull this shit up so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. BACK, and it has some shit, says CS2. Now, can you tell the people what my position in this case? How did Cash Jones, Wack 100, how did I get involved or implemented in this case with the stutter box?
Okay. So it all started when there was an FBI agent who told us that he had an informant that...
All right, so, Greg.
So, now you could, hey, Levi, go, because you snoring and everything. Go get in your bed. Go, bye. Go, he be right at my feet. Go, Papa. Levi, go. Nothing. Go. Then they be like, You know what I'm saying? He right up under me. He's grumbling. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to stop sharing that. So you can't insult our intelligence and invite the false present as the lead detective, but he was just the lead of the joint task force. And neither one of you guys screamed or hollered that the paperwork was fake or altered or anything. In fact, let's go here again.
Like, we really sitting here saying the nigga Wack name is back, and ain't nothing here that say Wack or Cass Jones, and even whoever this back dude is, their back didn't even care. Whoever back is, he ain't even care. Right? So, and we sitting up in here debating some shit, and this nigga then brought the actual lead motherfucking officer in here and had this discussion for an hour on the floor. Right? What else we got? We got a divorce filing that never went nowhere and was never solidified. Right? We got that. What else we got? Will you see where the nigga TD or whoever this nigga is was telling him, all right, back. You heard what Wack said? What Wack say? Hey, bro, who the fuck is back? Why the fuck you keep calling me back?
He always got TD name in his mouth.
What else am I supposed to say? I don't know no. Like, we really sitting here.
I don't know back. Now he don't know who back is. So he come out here and he playing these games, right? You know what I'm saying? These reindeer games, right? And he's saying that CS2 BACK, whoever back is, didn't snitch, right? And so hold on, y'all tell me this. We just gonna start off with just this part, right?
Be the one turning AI into action, and action.
Damu Kiwe.
Be the IT leader who resolves incidents without.
CS2 has provided reliable information concerning the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. All right, Larry James. When it talks about CS2 BACK, he has provided reliable historical information concerning concerning the Main Street Mafia Crip investigation. So now, when you got Wack 100 lying, there's a reason why he was saying BACK never lied. Oh, there was definitely a reason why he was saying, well, BACK never told whoever this BACK person is, because he knew eventually BACK would be exposed, and he thought that people wouldn't be able to figure out that he was BACK, and if they did, he had a backup plan. BACK didn't tell. First it was, I'm not BACK. Then it was the paperwork fake. There is no BACK, right? And then from there, we find out then he said BACK didn't tell, right? So we finna go ahead and go to this, and then we gonna get up out of here, man, because we've exposed Wack 100 as CS2 BACK. Don't y'all ever forget that. Matter of fact, we got one more video after this. Let's back up a little bit.
Paperwork, they put him as.
Stevens is saying that Wack is who he was talking to.
But he's saying that that's BACK. He is saying that BACK is Wack.
How does Mark Stevens put that together? Show me how Mark.
Do you hear how Greg Caden is trying to spin? How does Mark Stevens know? Because you're not the brightest fuse in the box, Detective Greg Caden. I exposed it, nigga. We figured it out. We're going to get to this, but pay attention because he's going to admit who that is on that call, who this BACK person is.
Stevens has anything to substantiate that BACK is Wack.
In the paperwork, they put him as. Now, the paperwork, they put him as BACK, B-A-C-K. And I kept asking the lawyer, like, who the fuck is? I ain't talked to no BACK. And they said, nah, that's Wack. But they put him as BACK because he a blood, so it's BACK. And I said, oh, okay.
And was this BACK also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no offense to Mark, he doesn't know any better. But when we're writing official police reports, we don't play the game.
Arrogant, patronizing.
We don't change language or change spelling because we are, part of the gang culture. We're not going to put Wack. We're going to put BACK because he's a blood, not a Crip, and we don't. That's not how we operate. We don't. That's gang shit. We don't write as gangsters. We write as police officers and try to be as specific as possible.
Greg is saying they try to be as specific as possible, and that they don't do things like that. But we're all looking at a wiretap transcript where they did exactly that. They put a person named BACK in the paperwork, and no one knows who BACK is.
We don't change things in order to. So if Mark Stevens is thinking that, oh man, the cops just put this in there this way because he's a blood and not a Crip, it's not how it works.
I hear you, Greg. But even without them doing that, the conversation with Mark Stevens and Del Dog did actually take place. And Mark Stevens is saying the person who called him looking for Del Dog's phone number was Wack. Mark said he doesn't know anyone named BACK. So why would they put some fake person that Mark has never ever talked to in the transcripts?
No, I get that. See, we are totally in agreement. The conversation is Wack, obviously. The conversation is Wack, obviously. But this explanation.
Who cares about the explanation? It's Wack.
There's nothing.
The conversation is Wack, obviously. But this explanation why that's Wack, it doesn't add up because it was because Wack's a blood. Man, we don't give a fuck about that. You don't realize you're so slow and trying to defend a point where you feel you got a good argument, and you done gave us what we needed. And that's that Wack is the one they're talking about. He is back in the paperwork. The paperwork has been authenticated. So let me go ahead and give y'all this real quick, and then we up out of here, man. Shout out to my guy, Street Certified News.
Greg is an exposure.
Let's get to it. Hold on, I think we're gonna go ahead and fast forward. Shout out my boy El Guapo. We're trying to get it to the. Yeah, we already played. Oh, here it goes. Well, that's it, man. We don't even got to play that tonight. But this is the key point, man. Wack 100 lying about getting paid 6 figures from World Star is to make it appear as if damn, my shit is gone, huh? What happened? Reload. All right, I'm back on. So look, we finna get up out of here, but Wack did that Southern Force. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, my bad. But Wack is telling that lie because he wants people to believe that he got 6 figures because it was a lie. And all of that just goes back to him being CS2 BACK. And that's what we're gonna get back to tomorrow. Tap in. Till then, we out. Damu Kiwe Conversation. If it let me out.